You know, we always say that we're always looking for watches. I have a lot of watches and I bought a lot of watches, so I kind of love everything that I have, but you know, there's always watches out there that always spark my interest. You can never really get enough. What's up, everybody? This is Kuzma here, and you're watching Come Collect with Bezel. Here's my collection. Somebody has a really, really nice watch on, and you know what it is. You know, there's a certain type of respect factor that goes along with that. So naturally wanting that, and just the beauty of it, the art of it, really just turned me into my watch now. This watch, it's everything to me. You know, I think that for one, this was the first watch that I bought. It's just stunning. Like I can't stop looking at it. I always look at it, you know, it just reminds me of where I came from, how far have I been. And it's just a phenomenal watch. You know, Journe, you know, he's the designer of this watch, did an incredible job with just everything, the finishing, the band, how it looks, the perception of it. Like, this is a watch, the 5711, that if you see it on somebody's wrist, you're gonna know what it is exactly, and it's very distinct. So the next watch I have, this is one of my personal favorites, probably the watch I wear the most out of any in my collection, just because it's a very low-key watch. It is called the FP Journe Elegant. This watch is beautiful. FP Journe is a watchmaker that is incredible. He does a phenomenal job, and these watches are very, very hard to get. When you look at watch brands, you have Rolex, they make hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of watches. And then you have like a brand like Patek, they may make about 65,000 watches. But FP Journe, they make around 900 watches a year. And just to be a part of that club and to have one of these is very cool. It's beautiful, it's stunning. The handwritten lettering on the watch is beautiful. And it's very, very unique because I cannot wear this watch for, say, 5, 6, 7 days. It's in my watch box, in the safe. I pick it up, it'll automatically start going to the time zone that I'm in and what time it is. You know, it's the perfect everyday watch. All my teammates, you know, they're always talking about Rolexes and showing each other photos. I know a lot of times getting on the plane last year, me, Brad Bill, Kristaps Porzingis, our entire conversations were about watches on the plane and what watches we have and what watches we want. For NBA, you know, we like to look nice and look the part. And I think that's what watches do for not only us, but everybody. So one of the next watches I want to talk about is one that's on my wrist. It's truly one of my personal favorites. For me, I love just the timelessness of pieces. If I could wear a watch for the next 50 years and it never goes out of style, you know, I think I'm winning. So this is called the Panda. This watch is great because one, it's oyster steel, and then on top of it, it has a ceramic bezel, which, you know, you gotta be careful with it, but it won't scratch. This is another ultimate watch you can wear every single day. I love this watch so much. This is a watch I kind of recently got, and I'm in love with it. With this watch, why I love it so much, besides the fact of it, is tourbillon and how beautiful it looks. You know, I feel like every time I look at it, I kind of get hypnotized a little bit. If you look at the blue dial, I think in the sunlight, there's no blue on the market that shines like this one. And on top of it, it's a really, really cool watch because it comes with 3 bands. And I think somebody that wears watches all the time, you could take off this rubber band and put the rose gold band on, or you can put a leather band on. So next here, we have a Patek Philippe Aquanaut chronograph. This is a very, very hot watch. It's super dope. The Aquanaut is just another branch of Patek, and it's more of the extra sporty side. You know, I would still consider the Nautilus a very sporty watch, but you know, to have a rubber band like this on this type of watch, it's a no-brainer. Fun fact about this was I was one of the first people in North America with this, so buying this watch, knowing that, automatically makes it special to me. So shout out Patek for that. So I've heard stories of a lot of people, they buy watches for celebrations, big achievements, which is cool and all. It's amazing. I haven't. For me, I just love watches and I just buy them at any time. I mean, I'm always on the Bezel app. I think that, as a watch collector, I'm always looking for things. Even if I'm not even looking for a watch, I'm bored and I want to just browse and look at beautiful things. It's usually what I'm doing. So could be on the go, on the plane, 2 in the morning in the bed, doesn't matter. This is him. This is called him. This is exactly what it is. This is 5711 Patek Tiffany collaboration. This is a watch that everybody is going crazy about. Extremely rare, extremely hard to get. I'm very blessed of the people that I know that I was able to come across this. It signifies a lot of things. It's a very powerful watch, and I don't wear it too often, but when I do wear it, I wear it in rooms where it's heavy hitters. It's rooms where it's a lot of influential people that I know are also gonna wear big time watches. So not only about standing out, it's a respect factor. If you know anything about this watch, they only made 170 of them. So to be a part of that exclusive club of the 170 that actually can hold one of these is pretty cool to me. Going back to as a kid, I never really had a love for watches or anything like that, but I knew when somebody was wearing a certain watch, you automatically knew what it was. And I think with this Rolex Day, I've always wanted one, and I'm glad I have a few now, that it's very useful for me in my everyday life. This is actually also the 60th anniversary celebration of the Day, and to have this watch in rose gold and olive, summertime in the sun, you can't beat it. It just hits different, and it's really, really a classic, beautiful watch from Rolex. For me, I tend to really go off, do I really love this watch? Does it look really nice? Because every watch brand is very different, but they all have special things that, one another don't have. And I think learning that, whether the Pateks that I have, APs that I have, the Rolexes, the Omega, Grand Seikos, it just all depends. So I'm really more into what it looks like, how do I feel with it on, and kind of just go from there. This is another one. Unbelievable, it's beautiful. It's a little bit actually bigger just because of the baguettes. It's one of the rarest ones that you can kind of find. It's extremely hard to get, and why I love it so much is, one, it's steel, and I have grown to really appreciate steel watches. Also, another cool thing about this watch I really love is, if you look at the dial, it's green from sight with light, but if it's tucked away and you see no light, it looks black. So I feel like I have 2 watches in one while I'm wearing it. And last but not least, we have this beautiful thing right here. This is a phenomenal watch. This is a Patek Philippe Calatrava skeleton, and one of the reasons why I loved it and I bought it is because I love all of Jay-Z's collection of watches, and I feel like I can kind of be like him in a little bit of the watches that he wears from Patek and the different type of bands they have. Also self-winding as well. It's just beautiful, and I stare at it all the time. And I don't really like small watches often. This is probably one of the smallest watches I own. It's a 39 millimeter, maybe 39 and a half, one or two. But it doesn't look like that on the wrist, and I just feel very like an old man when I'm wearing it, and just very mature. I think the best collecting advice I could give to people would definitely be just buy watches that you're actually going to wear. It's an asset now, and a lot of times these watches can really improve in value and help you from a portfolio financial standpoint. But you have to be able to wear the watches, because at the end of the day, that's the purpose of the watch. It's not about the investment, it's not about the look, it's not about trying to be cool. It's about, do you really rock with the watch? And for me, I wear all my watches. I try to switch it up, and I think that's why I have so many watches, but also as a collector, I love it.
I could just say this could be funny, actually. It'd be cool, because I really haven't. I just fucking buy watches.